giving you freedom to immoral people. What they do is immoral things. And this is why the founding fathers said you have to have religion and morality. Now, again, for many people, they look at the founding fathers and they feel like this is antithetical to the founding fathers, that we need religion or maybe even Christianity or the Bible and government. It only seems antithetical based on what we've been taught, not based on what they wrote. Because if you actually go back and read what they wrote, in fact, even if you read earlier historians, if you didn't just read the modern academic works, I would point out guys like back in the mid-19th century, Stephen Caldwell was a historian. He wrote a book before the Civil War, okay? So this is like 1850s, he writes a book. And one of the things he was dealing with was the founding fathers and the influence of Christianity on the founding fathers. I'm going to read you just one paragraph. Here's what he wrote in his book. It was in the spirit of true Christianity that the hospitality and blessings of the United States were offered to all the world. All were invited to enjoy it. The Christian men of that day intended that the nation should continue to be a Christian nation. They did not place Christianity beneath nor over their political institutions. Rather, it was to be the atmosphere which they breathed to administer them. It was the source of their inspiration, and they sought to make the blessing available for human advantage. These institutions and laws were to be the instruments of Christian men for the good of the whole human family. Now, I'd encourage you to go read the whole book because the whole book gives these kind of details, but notice what he's pointing out is that these were Christian men influenced by Christianity trying to set up something Christian in what they did. But one of the lines he said is that Christianity was the atmosphere which they breathed to administer this document, meaning that as they're writing it, they're breathing the air of Christianity. That's the influence that's guiding them. Today, most people, again, we hear the founding fathers weren't really religious or separation of church and state, atheist, agnostic, deist, whatever it is. We hear all these things, and I would point out, this is how silly it is that we believe some of it, because this document right here, just as an easy example, most famous painting of the Constitutional Convention, founding fathers who gave us the Constitution. This is the most famous painting. This was done by a painter named Howard Christy in 1937 on the 150th anniversary of the Constitution. The Congress decided that in honor and celebration of the Constitution, they wanted to commission a painting because at that time in one of the stairwells, which actually this painting hangs in a stairwell in the U.S. Capitol building on your way into the Congress, the House of Representatives. And at a time, the stairwell was blank. And so they said, well, let's commission a painting to be done. And this was a painting that was done. They've got a guy named Howard Christy. He was the most famous painter of the day. He came to notoriety because he did a significant portion of the war bond posters during World War I. So he was a very well-known artist. And they commissioned him in 1937. This painting was done in 1940. But what he said is as he was doing the painting, he wanted to go back and study these guys to maybe be able to put some life representation in his painting, right? To kind of know who they were, their attitudes, their emotions. And what he said is as he read their writings, trying to get to know them better, he noticed, number one, how much they quoted the Bible, and number two, how highly they spoke of the Bible and the importance and value of the Bible. And so he goes to look to see, is there any record of what resources they had in the room with them as they're writing the Constitution? And he said, we could find no list. And by the way, that was 1940. Still to this day, there is no known list of what resources they had available in the room with them. But his point was, he said, I can't find any list that identifies what books they did or didn't have as they're doing this. He said, but I couldn't imagine people that valued the Bible that much would ever be in a meeting of something so significant, something of such importance, and not have a Bible with them. So I painted a Bible in the painting,